Good evening, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the thing show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. It's Wednesday night. I'm just doing this. This is going to be like 15, 20 minutes, but I want to give you this because I think it's something you can pass on to a few people and they'll love it. Hit the like, subscribe button. Come on, y'all. We got to get on task with this. I want to show you some things that are happening, that directly affects us. And, everybody always want to know solutions. You know what the solutions are. People who ask you for solutions are lazy because everybody knows what the solution is. Ass is wiggling. Get to work. The solution is you treat the world how they treat you. Ain't that what your mama told you? If I don't buy from you, you don't buy from me. If you don't eat at my restaurants, I don't eat at your restaurants. If you don't buy my clothes, I don't buy your clothes. That's something indigenous people in America used to do because they looked after each other. It gave everybody something to do. And that's when you say unity. Some of the people were farmers, made sure everybody ate. Some people were house builders, whatever, just shared their skills. When you go from Indian, a name that somebody put on you, it's not, that's not what the people call themselves, certain things. That's why all these towns and these cities around America has your name on it. You don't even know it because you were taught that you were something else, right? Right? Just what? Negro, colored, Negro, black, African American. So remember, everything is done, and you've heard hundreds of other brothers bring this up that they don't do things real fast because we're reactionary too. So they'll take years and your imagination, because you are also used in the making of what they do. Matter of fact, you're the cement. You make it rock. Whatever they tell you to do, you don't do what needs to be done to the planet. You do what you're told. That's what the African American does, the black people, right? So you got all these towns and cities and counties with your name all over it, and you don't even pay attention to it. That's how bad it is. They don't even care. But yeah, there are some people that care. This is not everybody. I'm talking about the majority. And in this case, we're talking 90%. They don't care. They want to do the majority of people, and I'm sure you guys would agree. The majority of what you call Negro, Black, African American, they do what boss tell them to do, right? Well, we don't do it all the time. We don't do it on Christmas. So, because we're in that state, other people from other places, the way this whole internet, come on, people come over here and they see how the indigenous people the act and what they do, and they exploit it big time. And everybody who can hear my voice know and heard of gentrification. That's happening everywhere. Why aren't these towns that Negroes abandoned years ago? Why aren't they being filled up and built of something something major? Why aren't we doing that? I mean, that isn't that what these immigrants come over here for? To make money off of you, send their money back home and build their shit up back home. Guess who's the glue in that? Ding, ding, ding. Guess who makes that happen? But it's a wonder they can't make it happen for themselves. And the incoming foreigners know that. And they exploit it. I'm going to show you how fast this is happening to you and what's happening to you, just so you can get an understanding that ain't nobody playing with you. Check this out. Every Friday night, Lisa Cypress from the Accomax in Virginia, she's really trying to, pull her family and, all the people, listeners from on here. I mean, through all kind of ways, because when you get into that genealogy stuff, roots, man, we don't understand what roots mean. We don't understand how our ancestors traveled around. We don't understand what they did. We don't understand what they were like. We don't understand how their mind works. Because you have to ask yourself sooner or later, how could men and women with third and fourth grade education do more than the people who have all the education in the world? See, we never ask pertinent questions. We only do what we're told. This story comes out of Virginia. And the Accomax up is when you go up there, you recognize the people because why? They look just like the land. I mean, doesn't that make sense? They look like their environment. Unfortunately, in the Virginia area, the North Carolina area, those were massive trees that used to be in those places. If you go back and study America far enough and use some common sense and imagination, there are trees all over. This was a canopy that stretched from Florida to Canada. Read your history. It was a canopy. So can you imagine? It was kind of like what it wasn't hot like it could be because you had all these trees surrounded you. Imagine the environment of that. Imagine the people who lived in that. Those people were your ancestors, your mama's mama's mama, your daddy's mama's mama's mama. But since you went through the transition, what is that? Since you a tranny, since you went with it, you transmorgified yourselves and with really little to no resistance. Up here in Hampton University, up there on Hampton is buried on top of indigenous children. Now, I don't know what they were, why it's a cemetery for children. I don't know if that was the custom up there. You put children, but why are so many children buried in one spot? And why was Hampton University, why did they put their institution on top of a burial ground for children? Check out what they're doing. And this is what I be saying, man. We ain't got no time for the bullshit. I know that's what most want to do because you don't have to face what's going on. This is what you're going to hand off to your children. Check this out. Hampton University President William Harvey announced that the university is offering free tuition, room, and board to up to 100 Ukrainian international students displaced by the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The students will have the opportunity to continue their education here in the Hampton Roads area free of charge this summer, with the option to stay after the summer and pay regular tuition and fees. Dr. Harvey stated that the collected university faculty, staff, and students, blah, 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 blah. Your children, come on, man. You know what you got to do to get in college. You think if you went to the Ukraine, they would give free room and board and blah, blah, blah to your children or you? Well, let's come on. So you see how other people get into your matrix, and when they get into it, they dilute it down. So yeah, Lisa Cypress says her ancestors are buried on that campus. You see what I'm saying? This is what and that university that's buried on top of her ancestors, they're letting Ukrainians come in. Explain that. I want all the people who talk about how all these institutions are wonderful and our children go there. And when they come out of those institutions, they go help build somebody else's empire damn near all the time. Right? What are those institutions really for? See, we got to start asking questions and stop playing that feel good shit that don't work. Because none of that stuff work. It worked for them. Because see, they get the you don't know who these people coming in here are, do you? But I guess if you'll put your institution on top of people's graves, family, people who live in the community's ancestors, you'll do anything. That's what the African American, Negro, black, colored person does. That's what they do. Don't be talking. You leave us. You know how y'all with that. Yeah, you know what? You better really get out of that shit and pay attention to what's happening. Be honest with it, because once you honest with it, what's it say? The truth will set you free, right? If you honest with it, and everybody's just running away. That's how the earth shifts. That's how stuff happens on the earth. People start doing stuff that don't make no human commonly sense. You mess up the energy, you mess up the ethics of the planet. That's how you learned it, from the planet. And when everything is like it is here in America, come on. That's what you see right here. That's in Virginia. Check out this, and this is what I'm saying, man. We really, we really, we really better pay attention, because we act like, it's all good. I don't got to do nothing. I just got to get up and go to work tomorrow. This the other thing. See, this part now, that was in Virginia. This is in this is at Grambling State in Louisiana. See, all these stories happen all over the place when it deals with us. This is why I always say you got to start building our own institutions, because those institutions don't work for us. All it's going to get you is a job to build somebody else's empire on like Miss Cypress says, on top of her ancestors. See, on top of and that's what these people are building on top of you. You have all these immigrants coming over here. They're building their empires, what they thought and what they dreamed about at home, but couldn't do it and fled over here and built it on top of you. And you just gonna go with it? I can't do nothing. Really? And that's, from us calling ourselves black, calling ourselves nothing. We think of ourselves as nothing. That's why we call ourselves those names. You always notice that African Americans identify with shit that ain't real. You notice Christians deal with shit that's not real. It's fantasy. Well, I mean, everybody's still trying to hide from that. We still pretending. It's really when these people are trying to jab you out of existence. We really don't pay attention to the past. We really don't pay attention to Tuskegee experiment. How you think what you think we gonna think about this stuff? They're dismissing Grambling students, taking away their scholarships. What's up? This is the volleyball team. Get rid of them, bring these immigrants in. Do you guys get it yet? You don't know that. Okay. When you beg somebody else to educate you, and let's not get it twisted, the curriculum at those HBCUs, who write that curriculum? You don't. Let's be honest about it. You don't. You're not even in control of the schools. But why do we like to pretend like we are? See, that's what pisses me off. Why are you pretending? Why are you lying? Have we really gotten that bad? Seriously. Like I say, man, the earth changes when there's too turmoil with the people on the planet. And you see everybody's trying to throw everybody's trying to throw turmoil against you. Everybody. They're leaving their homes to come over to your home, not thinking or giving a shit about you. Amen. Ain't that how it's been going? So I just want you to just remember these things. These are major things that's going on. And unfortunately, we don't have a media set up where we're connected, all 50 states, can't all we, where we can speak to each other. That should have been done. Asians got it here in America. Mexicans got it here in America. I mean, all over the country. Where's ours? Bounce for real, cuz. And not only that, but the businesses to fund advertising. What's up? Really? So imagine that. Imagine you going to China and you set up your business selling all them Chinese people in their country. You won't even you wouldn't think of that in a million years. Yet people can do it to you, and you don't open your mouth to say nothing. That's the African American, right? Stop crying and acting like it ain't him. We do other stuff. What? And I'll wait. Why are you always talking? Dude, you ever notice when these kids go to these colleges and these brothers be 6'7", 6'8", and these coaches be like kicking them and throwing the ball at them, just dogging them, dogging them. When the dude's college career is over, they'll say that that man treated him like a father, right? And I'm sure many of you have seen that. It's called it's called tough love. You just don't, oh, she's so pretty, her hair. You don't do that shit. You tell the truth, because some of us have never even heard it, never even been around it, right? A lot of people have never. It's like another language to them. The truth. Just give the kids the truth. They'll figure out the rest. They'll figure it out. You just tell them. And the best way to tell them is when they're younger, because as they're developing, they always got that thought in their mind, and that thought is growing with them. That's why you don't bullshit them. That's why you don't give them video games to play with. They'll do that shit forever. We act like, so what, nigga? They can do whatever they want to do. And that's the attitude we have. While these things are going on, you always hear Lisa Cypress talking about do real things. See, these are the real things that are happening. These are the real things that are happening while we playing around. So I'm ending tonight. Well, we're gonna be back Friday night, and then we're gonna be back Saturday night because we having Rebel Saturday, and she's gonna talk about that Tartaria stuff. But I'm like a lot of brothers. I was skeptical of what she was saying, but she's not saying this is Tartaria. She was just saying the state of the world at that time. You got to check this out Saturday night. When you say, because I always ask the question, how could people just getting off a boat from Europe come and invent and fly an airplane? That Wright brother story. Come on, how is that if that technology wasn't already here? Huh? Hmm? See, these are things we never talk about. Why? Because you're taught about to talk about something else. You never think of nothing to bring up intelligence so people can think about and ponder to help figure this thing out. All you do is what you're told, like everybody else. That's the African American. Right or wrong, you damn right. So, like I said, always say, do a history lesson on yourself. Nobody's important as you. Nobody is as important as you, and you not as important as anybody else. Let's go ahead and connect, do the right thing, and win. We'll see you in a couple of days. Peace.